Hi everybody, and welcome back to Learn English with Christy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 words that sound exactly the same but have different spellings and different meanings, and that is two, and two. So, if you're ready to learn, let's go ahead and begin. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about these 3 twos. So we have two, and two. As you can see, they sound exactly the same, but they have a different spelling and they also have a different meaning. So what we call this in English, these are called homophones, where they sound the same, but they have different spellings and different meanings. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one. Our first two is spelled T-O. This two has a few different meanings, but let's start with it as a preposition of movement. So we can use to when we want to show emotion. Maybe we're going to the store or to school or to the park. So for example, if I say something like, I will drive my car to the store. This too is a preposition of movement. The next way that we can use TO is if we want to show some kind of time frame. So maybe you're talking about your work day. You can say, oh, today I'm working from 8 to 4, or I'm working from 9 to 5, or anything like that. Or the party is from 7 to 10. So if you're giving some kind of time frame, a beginning and an end time frame. Okay, and another way that we can use to is when we're using the infinitive. So to plus the verb equals the infinitive. So for example, she wants to swim tomorrow. To swim is our infinitive. Or Jack needs to work more tonight. So to work is our infinitive. Another way that we can use to, as in TO, is if we want to identify a person who is receiving something. So, for example, if we say something like, please give this money to Susan, or please give the keys to Bobby. So, somebody who is receiving something, we would use to. And another way that we can use to is if we're going to change the state, the quality, or the condition of something. So for example, let's say you need to change your money because you're traveling. So maybe you'll go to the bank and you'll change your US dollars to Mexican pesos if you're going to Mexico, for example. Or maybe you're sitting at a red light and you're waiting for the light to change from red to green so you can go. So let's move on to the next two. Let's look at the two spelled T-W-O. Now this two just means the number, like 1, 2, 3, okay? So let's buy 2 bananas. I have 2 eyes, I have 2 feet, things like that. So 2 as in T-W-O is just the number. Okay, and let's go ahead and talk about that last two, T-O-O. With this two, it can actually have a few different meanings. So in the first meaning, we can use to as also. So let's say your friend says something to you like, oh, I'm hungry, I'm so hungry. Maybe you will respond to your friend and say, oh, me too, or I am hungry too. So it's just another way to say also with T-O-O. And another way that we would use to, as in T-O-O, is when we want to reinforce very or more than. So, for example, let's say that you have to pick up something off the ground, but it's heavier than what you can do. Then you might say something like, this is too heavy for me to lift. Or, let's say your friend was driving down the road and a police stopped him and he got a ticket because he was driving too quickly. So in these two cases, notice that I use to before either an adjective or an adverb. Too heavy and too quickly. Another way that we can use too is when we want to show an excessive amount. So normally we would see this with too much or too many. So maybe your friend brings you a big plate of food, you know you cannot finish it. You would maybe say to that person, "Oh, that's too much food." You will probably also hear too much, maybe "I have too much homework to do," or "I have too much work to do." Notice when I say too much, we're always using a non-countable noun. Too much work, too much food. These are both nouns that we cannot count. But when we say too many, then we will use a countable noun. So maybe you're in a big room with a lot of people. Maybe you will say there are too many people in the room. People is a countable noun, so we are able to count the people. Maybe you have a big test day. Maybe you have 3 exams in one day. You might say something like, "I have too many tests today." Okay, tests are also a countable noun. Okay, let's go ahead and test what you learned. So I'm going to give you some sample sentences with blanks. And then I want you to pick which two belongs in the blank. T-O, T-W-O, or T-O-O. So for number 1, I have blank much homework to do tonight. I will not get any sleep. Which two belongs in this blank? If you put T-O-O, you are correct. This is the two that means an excessive amount. We can say too much or too many. In this case, homework is a non-countable noun, so it kind of gives it away there with the much. But it is the answer, T-O-O. Too much homework. Okay, let's go ahead and do another one. Now this one will actually have 2 blanks. So choose which word belongs in both of the blanks. After class, I have blank, go blank, the store. Which words belong in these blanks? Now, you should have put 2 T-O and 2 T-O. They actually are the same answers, but they have different meanings. So in the first one, I have to go, that is the infinitive, to go, and to the store, that is the preposition of movement. But here, yes, the answers are the same, T-O and T-O. I have to go to the store. Okay, let's do another one. This one again could have 2 blanks, but I'm only going to quiz you on one of the blanks. So at the store, I need to buy bread, milk, eggs, and blank packages of pasta. Which 2 belongs in this blank? If you put T-W-O, you are correct. It is just the number here, T-W-O. And our next example, Jen wants to get coffee in the morning and I do blank. Which 2 belongs here? If you put T-O-O, you are correct. T-O-O can also mean also, okay? So Jen wants to get coffee in the morning and I do also, or I do too. So T-O-O is the answer here. And our last example, the dress was blank big on her because she lost a lot of weight. So which 2 belongs in this sentence? If you put T-O-O, you are correct. It's to reinforce very or more than. The dress was too big on her because her body got smaller, so it was too big on her body. So how did you do with the quiz? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Did you get all of them right? Did you get 1 wrong, 2 wrong? How did you do? If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. that is all I have for you today. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.